Jacob here, and it's time to review the new XXXTENTACION album, Skins. X was always someone who stood out above his peers, above Lil Pump, Lil Xan, Lil Peep, Ski Mask. He always just brought so much more artistry, lyrical ability, and personality than any of his other peers. He was the most talented out of anyone in his class. Although I didn't enjoy many of his earlier works, when he released his album 17, I thought that was a huge step for him. And although certain critics weren't a big fan of 17, I thought the concept for 17 was very smart, very innovative. The idea that in a song you don't need the chorus or any of that, you'll just need the most important pieces. And also sort of the way depression ties into that album, the way that he doesn't have the energy to create a full song. And with Question Mark, although it personally wasn't my favorite, it showed a big step up for him in maturity, in not only his artistry, but technically he was much more skilled lyrically. I think his vocals improved a lot on Question Mark. Leading up to his death, he seemed like an artist with a lot of potential and someone that a lot of people were excited about. Following his tragic death in the summer of 2018, his record announced that they were going to release several posthumous projects from X. Following his record with Lil Peep, I became increasingly concerned with this album because that record seemed just like the record label pimping out two popular dead artists for relevancy. And I feel like most of this review is just going to be a referendum on the record label because many of my fears were founded in this album. The album starts off with this really cringy introduction with this weird robot voice. The introduction is quite pretentious in my opinion, talking about how this album is supposed to be a release for some, or that somehow
in my mind
I'm going to find an escape. First track on here, Guardian Angel, is X rapping over the reversed Jocelyn Flores instrumental. It actually starts out with the chorus of Jocelyn Flores reversed. This song is clearly supposed to be a sequel to Jocelyn Flores, and I think X does that very well. There's a lot of passionate rapping on this one, a lot of emotional lyrics. He really hits this one out of the ballpark. This is really one of the only complete songs on this record, in my opinion, and it's really one of the best. The second track, Train Food, is a great follow-up to Guardian Angel. The storytelling on this track is great. It's really a long metaphor about death, and the flow on the third verse,
oh my god,
it is just full of emotion, it is passionate, and it's really, I think, one of X's best verses. I think this song overall is really one of X's best songs. My only problem with this song is that the train track beat sort of in the background is really choppy and jumpy, and that definitely distracted me while listening to this song. I wasn't a huge fan of the mixing on this record, but really that's just personal preference. If you don't like the mix, no amount of reasoning is going to make you like the mix. If you like the mix, no amount of reasoning is going to not make you like the mix. If you like the mix, you like the mix. The next track on this album, Whoa, Mind in Awe. It's really just filler. It's filler. It's just X vocalizing basically the entire time. There's only like half of a verse, not even a full verse. It sounds like a good idea for a song. It's almost like a skeleton of a song. It's like he had this idea and he started working on it, but never got to finish it. Yet the record company just put it out for relevancy. I think this is one of my biggest issues with this record, is that almost none of these tracks are complete. If you promoted this album as a B-side record, I think I would have rated it much higher than the rating I gave it, because as the full-length album, it's really disappointing. It really shows how desperate record companies are. The next track is Bad. I actually really like Bad. It's really the entire song is a chorus, half of a verse, and then another part of the chorus. It's like many of the tracks on this record. This sounds like an unfinished song. Great idea for a song, but unfinished. X shows off his vocal ability and vulnerability on this track. Again, my issue is that it is unfinished, just like all of these tracks. I really just wish the record company would have put this out as a B-side record. It would have made so much more sense. It would have been so much more appealing than advertising it as a full-length record. 'Cause it's not. It's not. And again, with the next track, Staring at the Sky, it's great vocals. It sounds like an amazing idea for a song, but it ends abruptly, and it really just leaves you wanting more. It's like half a song. That's really what it sounds like, half a song. And then 1 minute with Kanye West. He repeats the same guitar riff over and over and over again. The instrumental sounds like a bad 3 Days Grace or Breaking Benjamin impersonation. And this is one of the few tracks in here that sounds complete. That's only because Ye takes like 90% of the song. I actually didn't mind Kanye's verse that much, but the entire time he's just pandering to this new generation of listeners that X attracted the entire freaking song. And then he brings up X's allegations and talks about how he was falsely accused or whatever, even though, you know, he's on tape saying he, quote, effed up his ex. It's not a good look for Kanye. It really isn't. And really, there's hardly any X. All there is a chorus and a bridge that's repeated twice. There's no X on it at all. The only reason they got Kanye is to make it a complete song. And X lets out this huge scream right before the bridge. But the only issue with that scream is someone who I can only describe as the greatest producer of all time took the scream and extended it. So it sounds like mine. It's This song is basically a Kanye song with X on the hooks. Again, it's not a bad song, but why? Next track, Difference, which is an interlude, which how does a 10-track, 19-minute record have an interlude? And really, it sounds like a demo track that was recorded on like an iPhone 5. I mean, so much so that like you can hear like someone typing and like clicking as if they're on a computer in the background. Really what it sounds like is he had an idea, so he picked up his phone and recorded like voice memos, like a brief idea for the song, and then the record company found the voicemail and decided to put it on the record. Needless to say, it sounds incomplete. It reads like it's half written. It sounds like crap. Why? And then the next track, I Don't Let Go. It's really one of like the 3 or 4 complete tracks on this record, which might be to its detriment because it's probably the worst track on this record. I mean, this thing is just all filler. It's just all filler. And it's about how women want him, but he's above them, and how people are jealous of him because women want him. It's just a really shallow, not good track. It's not good. And then What Are You Afraid Of? Much like Whoa, earlier in the album, it's just him vocalizing for most of the track. This song is, again, it's just filler because he never finished the track. The whole thing just sounds like a skeleton, like an instrumental for a track that he never rapped over. The chorus plays twice and the rest is him just vocalizing over like a mellow beat. I'm really disappointed that they would choose to release this record. I can't say this enough. Overall, I think this record sounds really, really, really unfinished. I mean, with the exception of like 3 or 4 tracks maybe, this entire album sounds like a demo tape. The record company really should have just released it as a B-side record rather than a full-length album, because I think I would have liked it much more as a B-side record than an album. But of course, they're gonna advertise it as a full-length album because record companies are terrible and just like to pimp out dead artists for their relevancy. Really, I can't really blame X for this one because I don't know if this was his vision for this record. I highly doubt with the sort of direction that X was going with his music, I highly doubt he would have put this out in the state that it's in. It is also really inconsistent with like, it has no concept, it switches genres frequently, the quality is very inconsistent on this record. Overall, I'm really just disappointed that the record company would release this record. Not surprised, because they'll do anything for money. I mean, record companies are just genuinely awful. I really feel bad for X though, because I doubt as an artist you would want unfinished art or low quality art under your name. I think at the end of the day, his legacy is the one that's hurting this. Not the record company, it's X. This record was not good. It was not good. It's unfinished. It's just not good. 2.5 out of 10. Yeah. Listen to this record. Did you love it? Did you hate it? If you loved it, I'd like to know why in the comments. I think that would be really interesting to read through. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next one.